What is up, everybody? Welcome to CryptoWise.
Friday! It's Friday, everyone.
Was that even English? It is Friday. Yes, it is Friday.
No, that's what the kids say. They say Friday.
Friday? Friday?
I don't know what the kids say.
There's no kids in here. There's no kids in here. This is the CryptoWise.
There's no kids in crypto.
Yeah, well, yes, there is. I mean, I'm here. I'm a degen. You can call me a kid. Anyways, hey, everybody, welcome to CryptoWise. Thank you for joining us. If you're already a part of the CryptoWise family, welcome. But if you're not, a special thank you for being here with us today. Make sure to do us a huge favor, everybody, and smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel and click on that little bell. That bell's going to get you real-time alerts when these videos drop. Of course, you know what's next. Follow us on Twitter at CryptoWise Daily. And of course, our Telegram at CryptoWise Official. Every single one of you should be joining us in Telegram. We are open 24/7, just like cryptocurrency. Milt, how are you doing today, my friend?
Couldn't be better. Could not be better, Marv. A little bit tired because you and I went out. We were out on the town last night.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. That was a secret.
But no, I'm feeling good. Look, the market's a bit saggy today. You know, it's one of those Friday mornings. The market's been a little bit saggy, although there are a couple of projects that are pumping, and we'll talk about those. We got the PolkaDot crowd loans have started, so we got to see what's going on there. Obviously, always so much to talk about in crypto. There's too much going on at all times. You can't keep up. So it's just crazy. It's just craziness.
It is craziness. It is craziness. And just a quick look at the market here. You're right. We've got a bit of a dip. We've got Bitcoin at 61,000, Ethereum at 44.73. BNB, Milt, who you've been talking about, is up 8% on 24. And
BNB hanging in. It's hanging strong.
So it's more than strong.
It's not the cool kid at the party anymore, that's for sure, but it just keeps doing well right now.
Solana at 233. Cardano at 197. I like this because people always judge me or give me crap for skipping over XRP. So XRP at $1.16.
You know what? XRP, I always skip over XRP.
Me too.
It's like it doesn't exist for me. Let's look at the chart. I've never actually looked at the XRP chart.
You wanna look at it? Let's take a look.
Since 2017. What has it been doing?
Here's XRP chart, my friend.
Is it going? Oh, wow. What is it? Holy
exciting times in the XRP world. I know there's
diehard
XRP guys
that
probably.
Spike. You see that huge spike there? I remember that.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought right there. $3.09. No, I didn't actually buy it. But
there was that
if
news,
I did, that's where it would be.
Right. There was the news last year or early this year, and that's that dip there, I guess, where
everyone's going to jail.
Yeah, everyone who had our XRP was going to go to jail. That crashed, and it's bounced back from there, but it really has not pumped like some of the other ones. Yeah, it's you and I were talking about this yesterday, how it's so funny in crypto, how you tend to just go to the ones that really kind of speak to you, and then those are the ones you follow. And because there's so many, especially out of even the top 100, you end up just ignoring so many of the other ones just because you can't track all of them.
No, you can't. That's the thing. You absolutely
And when you've been in crypto for a long time, like you and I have, like that decision is made pretty early on. Like I remember when XRP, like the last cycle, a lot of people were on team XRP and I never was. And so even this cycle, I just kind of ignore it. I don't even think about it.
Well, maybe for the XRP lovers in the CryptoWise family, you can explain to us in the comments or in our Telegram group what XRP is actually doing these days.
Yeah, why do you love it so much too? And that's what I want to know. Maybe we should have someone on the channel who's a big XRP guy who can explain to us, maybe try to win us over.
Yeah. Well, I know a few of them here locally, and they're not the happiest of folks these days. This is one that I do pay attention to, Milt. This one here, I've started to just dabble in terms of paying attention to. Yeah, right.
PolkaDot. Hey, I got to make a plug.
Yeah, go
People watching right now, we have an amazing video that's going to drop later this afternoon. We had an amazing chat with another YouTuber named Crypto's Chain, and he's another big PolkaDot guy. And so we did a full episode with him. We just had a long chat about PolkaDot, about Kusama, about the parachains, the crowd loans. That's going to drop later this afternoon. That is an amazing must-watch video if you want to learn about PolkaDot, or if you're into PolkaDot already. That's must-watch. Must-watch YouTube.
Must watch now. The parachains, November 11th, but you can start now.
Look at that number up there. DOT contributed
3.5 million of DOT has been contributed to the Akala crowd loan so far. 3.5 million. And by the way, I mentioned this before, you can use their site to get some extra bonus if you want. We'll be sharing a referral link either today or tomorrow with
I want to
everybody as
talk
well.
about this a bit more later in today's episode, because I've been thinking about this. It's been stressing me out. We talked about it with Crypto's chain. We talked about it on the show the other day. I still have not figured out what I'm going to do with my parachain strategy yet. I'm going back and forth. Am I going to give?
You know what?
Am I not going to give? But today I have another name. This is even a name that we didn't talk about.
Oh boy!
With Crypto's chain.
What are you hiding things from me?
Some of us get up early and actually prep for the show.
Listen.
Some of us
stop hiding shit from me.
Not going to name any
We're supposed to
names.
be a family.
Marv hasn't even woken up yet. You'll notice he'll wake up halfway through the show.
I'm waking up. I got my shake here. Get them delivered nicely from a good friend of ours every single day. Best shakes in the world. Keep you alive. And yeah. I do want to talk about this more, and I want to learn about the secrets you've been hiding from me, Milt.
All right. Well, they're not secrets at all, but they're just a name that we
you've been hiding from me.
We forgot to mention in the last few weeks, and now that the crowd loans are here, they need to be mentioned even more. But let's talk about some of the news going on in crypto, shall we?
Yeah, let's talk some news. So, was there an election recently in the United States of America?
New York. So New York City has a new mayor-elect. His name is Eric Adams, and he is all about crypto. This guy is a crypto supporter, crypto fanatic, and I love this. This is going to be a little war now between Miami and New York. We all, Miami's mayor, Francis Suarez, he's been big on the crypto recently, and he said, well, maybe I'm going to take some of my salary in Bitcoin. Well, Mayor-elect Eric Adams saying he's going to take his first few paychecks in Bitcoin, and he's pledged to make New York City. So he says, in New York, we always go big, so I'm going to take my first 3 paychecks in Bitcoin. And then he goes on to say that New York City is going to be the center of the cryptocurrency industry. This is what we need to see. Warring cities trying to be more and more crypto friendly in the United States, which in turn is going to make the United States more crypto friendly, which in turn is going to force other countries to compete to make them more crypto friendly. And eventually everyone's going to be so crypto friendly, it's going to be like a huge crypto orgy all over the world.
Oh, shit. Let's calm down on the orgy. I did see him. I got to say, he's been out and about with the NFT conference going on in New York. On my Instagram, a lot of my close friends that are at that conference, I've seen him at the parties. I've seen him in celebrating on the streets and in some of the bars. He's out there in the community, crypto community, and good for him. I'm really happy to see that take place.
The next thing we got to talk about here is Crypto.com, because this is something. So last year, so if you're
never heard of it,
if you're new to crypto, Crypto.com actually, they're a centralized company. They're obviously mainstream. You probably heard of them. They were the #1 app in Google Play Store in the US. But to give you some background, if you're just coming to crypto, so we were in this bear winter, crypto winter, for a couple of years. One of the things that started getting us out of that were these crypto Visa debit cards. And Crypto.com has been at kind of the forefront of that. It's the one that I use right now. I don't love Crypto.com, but they have been one of the biggest gateways of getting new people into crypto. It's kind of the app I always suggest to people who are new to crypto just to kind of get in. But This time last year, or maybe before that, maybe it was 18 months ago or so. I can't really remember, Marv. It all kind of blends in. Crypto.com was a top 10 project, and they were Binance and Crypto.com were like neck and neck. Everyone thought, is Crypto.com going to overtake Binance as the number one exchange? Blah 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 blah. And since then, they've fallen way short. Binance shot up. Binance launched Binance Smart Chain. They were doing all sorts of stuff. They're now like top 5 coin. Crypto.com is now ranked 24, but is this the start of a Crypto.com renaissance? Because the app's number 1 in the store, and finally you're seeing that translate into the token price here. Well, it's back up. It's at almost 40 cents. It's at 38 cents here, which might be close to its all-time high. Let's have a little peek.
I've got
here.
a couple things to say
all-time high,
about
37. It's at its all-time high.
Wow.
At it.
Calm down.
Give us a horn. Give us something.
All right, fine. I'll give you the horn for Crypto.com.
All-time high alert.
All-time high alert. I got a couple things to say about Crypto.com.
Let's hear it.
Okay. One, I agree with you. A year or so ago, I was actually using Crypto.com.
Matt Damon pumped.
Matt Damon. But the reason that I was using it was not because of, the simplicity, although the app is very, very easy to use. It was more about the fact that they had an easy fiat on-ramp.
Yeah, that's huge.
And they were giving 3 months free, no fee to on-ramp fiat. And so for me, at that time, I wanted to put more money back in. Things were starting to come back up. I needed more money back in the market. It was the easiest, cheapest way for me to do that. And so I was using it all the time. But then, of course, when that stopped, I had no other use for it because I don't trade in it. And I don't really use the app day to day. Now, I will say, though, yesterday, a good friend of mine who's getting into crypto, we get a lot of these texts, I'm sure you guys do as well, messaged me and said, listen, I've been using Binance, I've been using these other ones, and I found Crypto.com, and I download the app, and it's actually amazing. Like, I want to consolidate everything in here. It's so easy to use. I can actually understand this. It's giving me hope. And so, you gotta hand it to them. They have definitely designed the best app in crypto so far.
Yeah, very user-friendly. A ton of people I know, not into crypto, they use it and they love it in terms of just the simplicity of it. So, as a hardcore crypto guy, I don't care about Crypto.com other than I use the debit Visa card, which...
You used to be very, very bullish on them back in the day.
Yeah, I was. I used it. Well, also, they were giving huge yield.
And then they screwed up the whole swap.
There's a long story.
Yeah. I don't want to get into it anyway, but I'm with you on that.
But their card is great. I just want to get, we haven't talked about them in months.
For sure.
And the coin is pumping. We got to give them their due. You see their advertising everywhere, sports, everything. So they're I would say definitely with FTX and Crypto.com. They're the two companies, getting Matt Damon, they are out there trying to make crypto mainstream.
Yes.
So you got to give them props for that. But we had a conversation yesterday. If you guys didn't watch yesterday's show, go back, watch yesterday's show. We had Mr. Wesley Kress on. This guy knows his stuff with Elrond and Celsius. Those are kind of his two fortes, the two coins that he's narrowed down. And it's great to meet guys like Wesley because they're focusing. We're trying to focus on all of crypto, and it makes it impossible to get all the details of each project, keep them straight in my mind. So it's good to make buddies with guys like Wesley who are like, I got 2 coins that I'm going to focus on. Let me take the reins of these 2 coins, and that's where we had him on the show, and he was dropping some wisdom gems about Elrond. But
he was awesome.
Oh, he was great. You got to watch that episode. But one of the things is this MyR DApp or app and DApp is I think going to take over for me in terms of, and I said this yesterday, in terms of what I give my newbie friends advice on which app to download. So far, it's been Crypto.com, but I would love to give them a decentralized option. And I think that is, once this exchange launches in the next few days and weeks, boom, I'm going to have the MyR app to tell people to get.
Yeah, I agree. Very excited for that as well. Very excited. Now, if FTX had an app as good as Crypto.com, I don't think Crypto.com would stand a chance. I think where they shine is their app, and FTX has been marketing, and so Crypto.com has to make some big moves, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Very different products. FTX is going after big traders. Crypto.com is really just going after the casual retail.
Yes, so far in terms of their entry points, but don't be fooled. FTX is going after retail now too. They've also launched their NFT marketplaces.
That's true. That's true.
Don't be fooled. They're going after all markets.
The thing about Crypto.com is they definitely always seem to be just one step behind. Like they kind of seem to be like copycats. Binance launches their chain. Now they're going to be launching Crypto.com chain or something. FTX gets a bunch of celebrities. Crypto.com gets Matt Damon. So they are a bit of a step behind, but give them their props for bringing a lot of people into crypto.
Definitely give them their props. Now, speaking of props, there's a little bit of controversy yesterday, I think this was yesterday, yeah, on a couple of our fellow influencers on YouTube. Did you see this?
Oh yeah. This had the whole crypto community of YouTubers buzzing. This was a big argument, a big confrontation.
Mr. Pomp himself.
Pompliano, Anthony Pompliano.
Do you want to give the background to how this started before I play this clip?
Yeah. So this is what's going on. Okay, so Pomp he's more of a Bitcoin maxi. I really like Pomp. I listen to his podcast. He has great guests on. But he definitely leans more Bitcoin maxi, although I think he's got some, like big DeFi plays like Ethereum and Thorchain and stuff like that. But he took issue with BitBoy about, he kind of accused him of shilling the SHIB or Shiba coin or whatever that coin is to his audience. And he kind of got on his soapbox and started saying, really kind of, accusing BitBoy of shilling these S coins to their audience and kind of pumping and dumping them. Really, he really kind of went after him, and then so BitBoy kind of retaliated on his channel, and then Pomp invited BitBoy on to kind of have this out in public, which I think was really admirable from both sides. Like, good on BitBoy for going on. And then within this, so then they start arguing about this idea of of what coins to talk about, how you talk about them, that sort of thing. But where I thought the conversation got really interesting, and something that you and I always wrestle with, is this idea of clickbait thumbnails, because Pomp was really accusing BitBoy of shilling this stuff, but BitBoy was saying, well, that's just the thumbnail. That's just, clickbait. We have to do that. If you actually watch the video, I didn't actually say that. So that's kind of the context for this little clip here.
Well, I didn't ask you to tell the ending of the whole damn movie.
Yeah. No, you didn't. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Opposed to when the price of Bitcoin will bottom out in a bear market and look at what the gains are from a bear market. That was the message. All you did was pull some thumbnails. That's it.
Hold on a second.
You didn't actually watch the video or listen to what was said.
Hold on. I watched every single one of them. And when you said Dogecoin was going to $5 in 2021 and the shit fell off a cliff, literally the things I just showed you, you laughed at. You thought they were funny. So when you're talking about any videos that we have, when we do interviews, we interview people. And when they come on, if they say something.
So where in that XRP video did I say it was going to go to 589?
On the fucking
all I did was explain.
On the thumbnail.
Yes, you said it's going to 20 million on a thumbnail. You have to be for real about this. You have to be for real, Pump. It's a thumbnail. It's clickbait. You understand it as well as anyone else does. You clout chase. You try to get people to watch your videos with everything possible. You make a million different snippets from your podcast because you understand views and you understand attention. That's what it's about. If the YouTube game was not rigged for clickbait, I hate doing clickbait. But it is what it is. That's how you get views here on YouTube.
Yeah. What's your feeling on clickbait there, Milt?
I mean, I feel exactly the same as what BitBoy said there. And, people watching obviously have seen our thumbnails. Like, we try to make them look really nice, but at the same time, you got to have the more, and we're newish to YouTube. We've only been doing this a year now, but everything we learn about it is pretty much you have to do clickbait thumbnails. It's the only real way to get kind of more traffic, or one of the ways you have to do things that you have to do to get more traffic to your channel. So I get it. Like personally, I'm with him. I hate doing the clickbaity stuff, and you know this about me. But you keep saying, look, we can't have these boring.
Don't you put this on me, by the way.
Cerebral thumbnails. People are gonna not click, and it is a necessary evil about being on YouTube. You're just trying to get people to watch your videos. Hopefully once they start watching your videos, they can see whether or not there's substance to what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%. I get. Listen, if you've been watching CryptoWise, you know for sure that we've started playing with the different types of thumbnails and titles and stuff, and it's trying to see how we can get some more traction to the show and that kind of stuff, as you're saying. But at the end of the day, if you listen to the content, one thing you will be rest assured with us is you're getting reliable, honest, transparent content. And so, you know what? He had a decent argument. It was a good debate. I recommend you guys probably actually should go and watch it because it's quite entertaining at the same time.
Escape from the Matrix says BitBoy is the crypto Cartman. That is pretty spot on, actually. The other part of that argument, which I thought was interesting, is this idea of price predictions. Because a lot of what Pomp had to say, and a bit of the problem that he had with BitBoy, is that he was saying, oh, XRP is going to X, or Doge is going to X. And it is something that I try to stay away from. But I get what BitBoy's saying, because that is what a lot of people want. We get asked that all the time. People want to know, what's your price prediction? Where do you think it's going to go? And when you're pumping out as much content as BitBoy does, you're going to be throwing out a bunch of stuff that's wrong at a certain point, if you're throwing out the price predictions.
I mean, I want price predictions from influencers too. I mean, inside, that's what I want to hear.
I get it, but at the same time, take it with a grain of salt.
Of course.
No one knows where the price
really
is going. And so I know that we all want it. Yeah, sure, I love hearing people's opinions too. But if these people actually knew where the price was going, okay, they would be way better off than they are. No one knows where it's going. You need a
That's not true.
balanced strategy.
I can tell you one thing.
Need
DOT is going up.
Okay, but it's not going up in a straight line. Nothing does. Look at that chart.
Going up.
Look at the chart. It's up, it's down. It's up, it's down. Okay, nothing goes up in a straight line. People need to have
going up.
A strategy, a diversified strategy, risk management, all that kind of stuff. But every video you and I are doing now, these morning shows, we're doing other videos. We can't every 5 minutes explain to you again how to invest with the risk management, that we're not financial advisors, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully you watch enough of what we do that you understand that if we're talking about a high-risk altcoin, for us, that's a tiny fraction of our overall portfolio. We're not going in with our whole portfolio.
I agree with you completely. You got to take risks very cautiously. Don't risk what you can't afford to lose. It's not always PolkaDot is 75% of my portfolio.
Okay,
it's not
I'm
a tiny.
DOT is
DOT
is a high risk.
I'm also a degenerate.
Are you saying that DOT is a high risk altcoin?
I think all crypto is high risk.
Okay, but
it's not a high risk altcoin. I agree with you there. I agree with you there. Okay, but I'm saying it's a big chunk of my portfolio. All right.
Stephen Lundy says no clickbait titles, but Stephen, look, you have to. I'm sorry. Like, who cares about what the thumbnail is? It is YouTube does rig it against you if you don't have the kind of things that people respond to. So don't even worry about it. Just watch your favorite channel and don't care about their thumbnail. Judge them on the actual video content.
Yeah, I agree. At the end of the day, look, how many of you have been baited by a thumbnail? I have, time and time over. And sometimes I stumble across some of the best content, regardless of what that nail is. So, anyways, can we let's not all go BitBoy Pomp now.
Well, Marvin's driving me crazy. It's Friday.
I love poking the bear, guys. I love
poking
the
bear, but you got to take this seriously.
I'm trying to get Milt out of my house.
You got to take this seriously.
The guy won't leave. He said, I'm coming over for a couple days if that's okay. It's been like 2 years now.
Okay, we are talking to an audience that, listens to what you have to say.
Oh.
So you got to be careful about making sure that you give them the proper warnings around what we're actually saying and not saying.
Yes.
Okay,
Now,
sometimes
people
they
want
don't
some-
know you're joking around.
Yeah, I am joking. What about you leaving?
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm never leaving.
Yeah, obviously, guys, I do like to joke. It is really, you do have to always use caution when investing in cryptocurrency, any crypto, regardless of the risk between the alts and the blue chips, etc. Now, can we talk about some, like, people want to know about the parachains and which ones we're going into. You mentioned that you had an interesting one that we hadn't really talked about. Also, there's a question about when are we going to be sharing. Dwayne wants to, our Akala referral code. We're going to be sharing that within the next hour or two there, Dwayne. So we'll actually, when this video gets posted, we'll put a link up with the referral code so everyone can participate and we can all get an extra 5% on our Akala. And you don't have to use ours. There's other people's that you can go and find and use as well in Discord, etc. But of course, if you want to, we'd love to do it together with you. Milt, let's talk about the parachain race.
All right, so this is the Kusama one because I still have my eyes on the Kusama one because there's a lot of great projects in Kusama. And again, I got to plug this video coming out later today. We have a great conversation with Crypto's chain. And we talk a lot about the difference between what's going on in the Kusama crowd loans versus what these DOT ones are coming on. But right now, it does look like the Pioneer Network is going to get this week's parachain. I don't see anyone catching them. But our beloved Quartz, which is the Kusama project of Unique Network, and this is an amazing, amazing NFT parachain, that's in third. So I'm really hoping that they get the next one. Unfortunately, Integrity has dropped to fourth here. Chenshero has jumped over Integrity.
What?
But Integrity has this thing about this, people trying to stop their crowd loan thing. Hopefully that all gets dealt with this weekend, and next week Integrity can go.
I think it's
get
a
back
big
on-
mistake.
Get back on track because Integrity is
I think
amazing.
Integrity's gonna
I
make
want them to get a parachain
Some
soon.
amazing things happen.
All right. But let's look at the PolkaDot ones because this is brand new here. As we mentioned, Akala, 3.5 million DOT already locked up into Akala.
That's
is
a lot of DOT.
of DOT. Okay, Moonbeam's already got 1.3 million. This is after 1 day. And the other amazing thing is how many people contributed. You've got to call it almost 9,000 people have contributed to this already, or at least wallets. And then you got Moonbeam almost at 6,000. And it looks like the rest of the crowd here, they're just giving it to Akala and Moonbeam. And
Wow.
it seems like they're going to let them fight it out for the first two and then start fighting
What's your
amongst themselves
prediction
for
on
the
who
three.
gets it out of the two?
I think Akala's got
Yeah.
this first one locked up. I mean, one of the places, so that's a bit of, here it is. So why we committed so this company here, they committed 500,000 DOT to Akala.
Wow.
And they've got an article here about why they did that. I do think Akala's got that wrapped up. But one of the names on this list that is, because this is also something that we talked to Crypto's chain about, we talked to our community about. I am starting to become more and more worried about this cap here. Okay, so they had to put a cap here.
Right.
It's really capless. So they've said up to 50 million DOT can be contributed. They've already got 3.5 million. If they get anywhere close to 50 million DOT contributed, the rewards are going to be tiny.
Yeah.
So I am more and more worried about that with these
Look
two
at
big
Moonbeam,
ones.
100 million DOT.
Yeah, so I am more
How
and more
much-
worried about that.
Why do they need 100 million DOT? Explain that to me.
Well, they don't, but they don't touch the DOT, right?
Yeah,
so
but why
for
do they
them, it
need
doesn't
100
matter.
million?
It's
Why
almost
put
like
a-
it's an ego boost. They
Yeah,
just want
exactly.
the parachain.
It's an ego.
They just want the parachain. So what you got to understand is they're giving away the same amount of Moonbeam, regardless of how many people contribute. Same with Akala. They've locked in how much rewards they're going to give to the community. So if more people are there, then the less rewards each person gets. So I would say that there's a name here that
It's also likely that that many people wanting it, that the price of that coin is going to be worth more.
Yes, but then the other thing, I agree with that, could be, but the other thing to keep in mind is in the PolkaDot projects, unlike a lot of the Kusama ones, there are VCs, there are private investors, those people got in super early, super cheap. So
Right.
there will be some sell pressure on these ones as well. It's not as cut and dry as that there's buying pressure. So there is actual selling pressure, which we didn't see with Moon River. No one had Moon River tokens to sell.
Right. That makes sense.
So something to keep in mind. But this is the one on the list that I think we need to talk about. Efinity. I don't know if you remember about Efinity. This was big news back in March. That Engine Network, one of the big NFT projects in the space, they're building a parachain project on PolkaDot called Efinity. And so this is one that I think I haven't looked fully into the crowd loan details of the tokenomics and stuff, but I am definitely hugely pumped on Efinity, and it looks like they're going to be really aggressive trying to get one of the first batch of parachains, which would be one of the top 5 parachains. This is definitely one I got my eye on right now.
Now, would you go for that or Unique?
Well, Unique is going to be launching Quartz first.
Well, I know that.
Kusama.
Right, we know that.
Okay.
But then they're going to be going for a parachain on DOT.
But that's going to be down the line. They're going to launch on Kusama first, whereas Affinity's not.
Just going
Affinity's
straight to
going
PolkaDot.
straight to DOT. I want both, to be honest. They're different things. They're very different projects, but they're both in the NFT space. I think both have a huge chance of success. But don't get me wrong. I mean, I love Unique Network, and I love what they're building, and I love that their Quartz parachain is going to get a parachain in the next couple of weeks, I think, and people are going to realize how amazing this NFT project really is.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exciting. Exciting times, Milt. Exciting times. Where will my money go? Well, I know for me, this first round, I've decided I'm putting some in Akala and Moonbeam.
You've 100% decided that already.
Yeah, I'm allocating. Now, it's not going to be my entire bag, of course, because there's a lot of other ones that I want to save some of my DOT for. And but I do want to participate in each of them. One, listen, I want to support those first runners. That's the first thing. And two, I think they're both going to be incredible projects.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to do incredibly well, regardless of the VC fund. Every single project, I don't care, has VC funding.
I don't care about the VC funding, but in terms of when you get in, I mean, if it's closer to some of these IDOs that launch, you see people take profits and then they crash, there is an opportunity there to buy in cheaper. But it's an interesting strategy to have to figure out here, which I really love the strategy around this, because there are tokens available that you could just buy right now that are going to also be parachains. And those tokens, it's an interesting strategy of, do you just buy more DOT, lend DOT, because then you get those tokens for free, or do you just buy that token?
Right.
And obviously you have a finite budget that you're working with. So for me, because I want to own as much DOT, even
That's
some of
the
these
thing.
tokens that are going to be available out there to buy, I kind of like the strategy of buying the DOT, getting the token for free, even if that token is available.
Right. Could you maybe explain what you're expecting as a return in your parachain investments? Well, that's tough, right? But here's the thing. The DOT that we're allocating is coming back to us.
Yeah. I mean, really, technically, if you really want to crunch the numbers, essentially you're hoping that it outperforms what you would get by staking
Just
DOT.
by staking.
So because for me, I'm in on DOT no matter what, but I love the staking. I love getting more DOT every day. So it's got to be better than that. And I think the projects understand that and have made the rewards for the most part better than that. But I'm getting more and more worried about Akala Moonbeam just because of the hype around those two specifically. I'm going to wait until at least closer to the end of the auction, which I know could, or at least the beginning of the actual auction, and bypass this kind of crowd loan time, and just see where they're at. If they're at like 20 million, DOT locked up and stuff, I don't know. I might wait for other projects, but.
Well, you see, my thing is, I'm just not going to put as much. I still want to have some exposure.
Yeah, it's a tough decision because I want both of those coins. for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm going. Yeah. Anyways, I'm putting quite a bit in Akala. I'm putting some in Moonbeam, and I've still got a lot of my bag waiting.
Okay, but guys, if you want more PolkaDot talk, more crowdloan talk, and in depth, we talk about so many projects in this video. Later today, we're dropping a video with Crypto's chain. It's an amazing conversation. All parachains, answers a lot of questions. Crypto's chain really knows his stuff. So that's going to be a really interesting video. Check that out when that comes out. I want to give one shout out to speaking of high risk, tiny micro caps that I love.
Yeah.
And that we partnered with Umi Digital.
Oh, wow. They pumped
200% yesterday. It's a very small project, this team, but really authentic, talented team. They're really trying to build something special in the NFT space here. They're doing it on the Sora network eventually, which is also going to be a parachain on PolkaDot. But right now, they're on Ethereum. They've got their DApp launched. You can check it out. Obviously, we teamed up with them to create the CryptoWise NFT. But I definitely highly recommend just checking out their DApp. I'm not saying FOMO into it or anything because it has pumped big in the last couple of days, but I'm just really happy for them because I know these guys are working super hard on this project, and I think they have a bright future. And you can stake, your Umi right now on Ethereum. I'm really excited for when they actually do move over to Sora, but good on you, Umi Digital. We've been talking about you from the beginning, and that is a massive pump. Look at that chart right there. Beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Trading volume 19 million for a market cap of 18 million. So that's
wow.
There's definitely something going on here, something in the water.
Another project that we talk a lot about that's also been pumping, and that's Kylan.
Oh yeah, Kylan. Woof.
She's up to 61 now. I think. Yeah, look at this chart. What did she go up to?
She went up to 70 yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
74.
I was up early this morning doing more research because I'm doing a full Kylan video definitely in the next week for sure, but hopefully even sooner. And looking into PCU launch and all that kind of stuff, and really trying to wrap my brain around.
Sorry, what's it called? PCU?
Pichu. I don't really know what it's called, but it's Kylan is like some sort of mythical beast, right? And so apparently Pichu is also another mythical beast.
I just like teasing you. Especially on a Friday, guys. Let's tease Milt in the comments.
Know what I could have said it perfectly.
No, I say it perfectly. It's Pikachu.
No, it's not Pikachu. That's like a Pokemon game.
No, I've called it Pikachu, and that's what it will be.
But that's from Pokemon. This isn't Pokemon. This is something else. It's Pichu.
Listen. I'm calling it Pikachu. Anyways, it's doing really well.
Yeah,
this is what I wanted to get at.
Happy to see because we've been on Kylan since they launched, and really happy to see that they're finally getting noticed.
A lot of people had a lot of opportunity to get in Kylan at 10 cents.
So cheap. I know.
Right?
I was jealous because I have such big bags of Kylan, and I bought them early that I couldn't justify buying more at the lows. But I'm really happy for those that did because that was a no-brainer.
Yeah, that was good. That was real good. Real good.
Well, anything else that you want to talk about today, Marv, before we hit the weekend?
Well, before we hit the weekend, what do you mean before we hit the weekend? As if you're taking any time off.
No, I'm going to be working on my Kylan video. I got other videos planned that I want to
I'm working on a bunch of, we've got some gaming stuff coming up. I've been doing a ton of research into the gaming stuff. Some interesting projects coming our way. I was doing some research and going to be putting some money into some metaverse land that I'm going to share with the community real soon.
Sweet.
And stuff like that.
I love when Marv gets into his gaming. Remember back in the day you showed us Illuvium?
You're damn, you know what? Thank you. Because they're actually, they've released some hints towards their land drops, guys. And by the way, people are making millions of dollars in some of these land drops. Land in some of these metaverses is going wild. Illuvium is at $1,300. I brought this up when it was at $50.
Yeah, you did.
I was one of the first people to expose YouTube to the beautiful Illuvium, and I had their first NFTs because I was part of their balancer, guys. And so if you go back and watch my video on Illuvium, you will see that I am not the worst at finding some of these beautiful gaming gems, and I love gaming more than you do, Milt. I really just enjoy gaming.
You're a pure gamer. Like when I look, I'm not a gamer, so when I'm looking at these projects, I just come from it from a crypto investing standpoint. You're a gamer, so I love getting your opinion on things from that gamer perspective.
And I think it's important to get people's deeper opinions of gaming, because here's the thing, just like anything, right? Like when all these IDOs come out, people were just putting PolkaDot or calling them Polka this, Polka that. That didn't make it a good project. The same's happening in gaming.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right? Where you're seeing game left, right, center. People are, they're literally going on Fiverr and Upwork and paying a rendering guy, a Unity guy to create a sick trailer, and then you watch it, holy shit, this is going to be an amazing game, when really they have nothing. The team has no experience, there's nothing behind it, there's no funding, there's no long-term plan, no long-term vision, the tokenomics aren't there, so you really got to dig deep, and so that's what I'm working on.
Nice.
For the channel.
You have to do your research on gaming these days for sure. Another project here as we go out, Marv, I just want to give a shout out to the interview that we did with the B Protocol CEO, Yaron Velner. You're talking about projects, getting in on projects early, DeFi, B Protocol. This is a real deal DeFi project that you should definitely look into, including watching our interview with Yaron.
It was a great interview. It was a little tough to understand. I apologize for that. We added some music to it. We won't do that in the future on these interviews. But it is a really good interview, and it's worth watching. I learned a lot about B Protocol that I didn't know doing that with you.
So did I. It was a new project for me, and I loved learning more about it. Definitely one for you guys to look more into.
Milt, it's been a ton of fun. Are we coming back next week again?
We're coming at you again next week, Monday to Friday, CryptoWise Live AM.
If you miss us in the meantime, make sure to join us on our Twitter and our Telegram. It's been real, guys. We will talk to you all very, very soon.